What I'm about to play for you is not human. Welcome, folks, to Birds on Board, your home of board gaming excellence. In another video, we created our own AI-powered rulebook for our board games. We uploaded Heat, Pedal to the Metal, the rulebook for just the core set, just the core rules, so base game. And we are going to be listening to an audio overview, a deep dive into that rulebook. And I hope you folks enjoy. The full audio clip is going to play now. I did not touch any of it, so if it spelled something incorrectly, it's not my fault.
Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're really going to put the pedal to the metal, diving deep into heat, pedal to the metal.
Yeah, we're going to give you all the tips and strategy you need, so by the end of this deep dive, you'll be winning every race.
So I took a look at the rulebook, and honestly, at first glance, it seems kind of simple, right? You just got to be the first to finish the laps around the track.
Well, there's definitely more to it than that.
Yeah, I figured.
Yeah.
So before we get into the really nitty-gritty, can you kind of walk us through what exactly we're working with here? Like, what's in the box?
Okay, so you got your game board. There are different tracks to choose from, but let's stick with the USA track for this.
Sounds good to me.
So each player, you're going to get a cool little race car, a player mat to track everything, and then a gear pawn. That's really important.
I meant to manage your, what was it? Your heat level.
Right, exactly. But the real game changers here are the cards.
Okay, yeah, there's a whole stack of cards.
So yeah, you've got cards for your speed, then there are upgrade cards that'll give you a head start, and of course there's the heat cards and stress cards.
Those don't sound like they're messing around.
Well, let's just say they make things interesting, strategic. We'll get into those a bit more later.
All right, so we got our cars on the track. We got a fistful of cards. So how does a round of heat, pedal to the metal, actually work?
So every round has the same steps, but each round is different,
Yeah.
It's dynamic. First thing you do is adjust your gear.
Which is where that heat management comes in, right?
Right, exactly. Then you play cards from your hand, which will determine how fast you're going that round.
So I probably shouldn't just play my highest speed card every single time.
Well, you could try, but remember that heat level we talked about?
Yeah.
Pushing your engine too hard, using those high-speed cards all the time, that's going to cause you to overheat, and you don't want that. You're going to be pushing your luck, trying to get ahead, playing those high-speed cards, then boom, overheat. You're going to spin out, lose your position.
Yeah, that's definitely not winning us any races. So, okay, how do we avoid that?
Right.
What are the keys to managing that heat level?
Well, like I said, that gear pawn, that's your lifeline. Shifting gears, that's how you control it.
Okay.
Downshifting, it'll cool you down, but it also slows you down. So it's about strategy, knowing when to push your luck and when to hold back a little. And then, of course, there's the heat cards.
The heat cards, yeah. I'm still a little unclear on how those work exactly.
So heat cards, they're a gamble. They can really help you out, or they can totally backfire.
How so?
Well, they can give you a speed boost, which is great, but they also make your engine hotter. You got to be careful. If you get stuck with a bunch of heat cards when you're in a high gear, you're toast.
Okay, so there's definitely a strategy to it. It's like you're balancing risk and reward with every card you play.
Exactly. You got to think ahead, anticipate those heat cards. And speaking of curveballs, we got to talk about the stress cards.
Oh, yeah, the stress cards. Those sound brutal.
They can be. It's like, those unexpected things that happen during a race. You hit a patch of oil, you misjudge a turn.
So how do they work?
So say you have to play a stress card. It doesn't give you a speed. You actually have to draw more cards until you get a basic card.
Yeah.
And that determines your speed.
Wow, okay, so you could get lucky and draw a high speed,
Or you could get stuck crawling along at, like, a snail's pace. And there are a bunch of different things that can make you draw those stress cards.
Like what?
Certain actions, certain cards.
Mm.
Even pushing your luck with those high speeds, that can force you to draw a stress card.
It's like the game knows when you're being too cocky.
Right, so you got to be smart about it.
Yeah.
Now, on top of all that, there are even more things that make heat, pedal to the metal, really unique. Like slipstreaming, for example.
Oh, yeah. Slipstreaming, that sounds intense. What is that exactly?
So slipstreaming is when you're right behind another car, you're in their slipstream, you can use their momentum to help you out.
Oh, that's smart.
It's a really good way to save your engine from overheating, too, because you're not pushing it as hard. But you got to be careful.
Yeah, I was going to say, if they break suddenly, you're in trouble.
Exactly. It's all about timing and positioning. And then there's adrenaline.
Okay, adrenaline, what's that all about?
Adrenaline, it's like a last chance for whoever's in last place. They get to draw extra cards, try to get back in the game.
That's cool. It gives them a fighting chance.
Right, but it's still risky because they could end up with even more heat or stress. So every decision matters in this game. It's what makes it so much fun. It's not just about speed, it's about thinking strategically. But at the end of the day, there can only be one winner, right?
Right. So how do we actually win at heat? Pedal to the metal.
The first one to cross the finish line after all those laps, they're the winner.
Makes sense, but like you've been saying, it's not as simple as it sounds, is it?
No, not at all. It all comes down to all those decisions you made along the way, how you managed your heat, when you took those risks.
It's like every little choice adds up to that final moment.
Yeah, exactly. You could have the fastest car, but if you're always overheating or drawing stress cards...
You're going to be watching someone else take the trophy.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Man, this game is so cool. I'm loving this deep dive. It's definitely way more strategic than I thought it would be at first.
Right. It's that perfect mix of skill and luck, you know. Keeps you on your toes.
Definitely. So for our listeners who are, like, itching to try this out now, what's your #1 piece of advice?
Good question. I'd say don't get impatient. It's tempting to just go full speed all the time.
Oh, yeah. Floor it. Yeah, but you got to play smart. Learn to manage that heat level, when to downshift, be strategic. That's how you win those races.
Awesome. That's great advice.
Have fun with it. It's a really fun game.
This was awesome. I feel like I could beat anyone at heat. Pedal to the metal. No. Well, maybe not anyone.
Practice makes perfect.
That's true. All right. Well, this has been another awesome deep dive, taking you beyond the rules and right into the heart of the game.
See you next time.
Catch you later.